Hi! Hello, everyone. My name's Noah. This is Noah Stitches. This is a cross-stitch channel here on YouTube. This should be Flosstube number 5, if I remember correctly. But welcome. To new subscribers or people that are just now tuning in. This is their first video. Welcome. I have a lot of cross-stitch projects. I'm very diverse in what I stitch. And I also talk about my personal life. So you're more than welcome to hang out and click the subscribe button. But if you're returning, if you hear something, we'll talk about that in a little bit. There's a little noise maker over here right now. So if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks so much for coming back. I got into some heat and some debate in the last Flosstube, so I think that's going to be really interesting to touch on. But the first thing I want to talk about is the new edition. Eric, come here. Eric, come here. So over the week, since my last Flosstube, I have a new little pal. This is, oh, I'm starting to like wash out. Let me fix that. Okay, that should be better. His name is Erickson, and Eric for short. I know, honey, look at the camera. He is 7 weeks old now. This is his 7th week. His litter was abandoned at a local baseball field. And I took the last one, and he was the last one. Where are you gonna go? Oh, he's cleaning my ear. He's so attached to me already. I've had him for about a week. He's got all of his stuff done at the vet. We're just waiting till he gets a little bit older to do the feline test for feline leukemia. But he's good to go. He's weighing normal. He doesn't have any fleas. I'm gonna set him down so you can play. He doesn't have any fleas or anything like that right now. We did a dewormer, so he should be good in a couple of days with the worming aspect. Don't mess around with the tripod. Stop. Stop. Play with all your toys that I set out for you. Look. That's the one thing that I've gotten used to is like stopping what he's doing and giving him a toy instead. Come on. Go on. Because he's a really good first pet to have. So he listens to me, he doesn't mess with my stitching anymore. If the camera wobbles, it's because he's down there right now and he's making me anxious. So I've dropped the camera here on Flosstube before. I'm probably gonna do it again before I ever end it, so. But we have new starts. Oh, what did I tell you? Stop, go on. We have new starts. We have one finish. Probably for about a week and a half of these 2 weeks, I didn't get any stitching done between school, work, getting him and taking care of him full time, kind of kitten-proofing my house because I've gotten the threads all put away and all the projects that were out, and I've got project bag organization now, so all the needles are put away. I'm going to show you some ways that I kind of keep my needles up out of the way of the kitty cat. I trimmed back my plants so he can't get to them because these are dangerous to felines. So it's been a lot of work, but we're making it happen. So not a lot of stitching to show today. I do have some significant progress on like a couple of pieces, but other than that, I completely decluttered my stash. I went through all of my stash. I pulled stuff out that I don't want anymore. I'll be destashing that soon. And then I've got some stuff that I just had new system of organizing some stuff because I have a kitten now that I have to consider that can get into stuff. So I had to make sure everything could latch. But yeah, we have a lot to talk about. So people enjoy the really, really long videos. I enjoy the really long videos. So I'm just gonna kind of sit back, relax. He's playing with the toy now. We're just gonna enjoy our time together today. So hopefully you have some stitching or some crochet, knitting, something to keep your hands busy and maybe a drink. depending upon the time of day. So I do want to take a segment from Michelle Bendy's. Oh, he's playing with the curtains now. Erickson. Hey. Okay. It'll do what he does. Ugh, Jesus. Michelle Bendy wants a new kitten, or she's considering one, and I'm like, girl, I'm here for it. Same thing with Julie, Kansas City girl. I'm like, get a new kitten, but you just gotta, it takes some time to train them. Erickson. See, I can't go over there right now because I'm filming, so I feel like he knows. What was I talking about? Oh, I'm taking a segment from Michelle Bendy's videos where it's like her best thing of the week or best new thing, something like that she says. My best new thing is obviously the kitty, but also it's fall. So I've been burning fall candles. So this is a pumpkin spice and I've got it burning over there. Oh, it's to die for. I forgot where I got this from. I think I got it on sale or something last year, like when the season ended. Okay, dude. Get out of the curtain. And look, I'll get into this later, but I'm not editing anymore either, so you're gonna have to watch me get up and get down if that happens again. Oh, mentioning of me getting up, do y'all ever tuck in your sweaters? I like to tuck in my sweater when I'm like working on patterns and cross stitching and stuff because, oh, the light is so weird. Okay, there we go. I like to do that because it makes me like, the shirt's not baggy, so I feel like I can actually stitch. I feel like I'm like snuggled up. I don't know. But anyways, what were we talking about? Oh, this candle. I told you this thing is probably gonna be another hour and a half. But yeah, I did this candle and I forgot where I got it from because I think I got it on sale last year when Halloween ended and like the fall season. You know how they like sell out those candles? So, it just smells so good. It's like 59 degrees outside today. It's amazing weather to run in. Just absolutely love it. So, what else? Oh, I finished an Ort Jar. So this was from 2018 until this year, 2020. So this is 2 years of Orts. I don't have a lid for it, which is the reason why I had to finish off this one because I have a kitten that likes to stick its head in this, so I needed one with the lid. And since I didn't have the lid anymore, I was like, oh, it's time to retire this jar. Dude, cut it out. He just loves to mess around with shit that's not his. Go play with your toys, dude. That's the thing. I'll buy like, literally like $100 worth of toys, and he's like, oh, let me play in the box that it came in. But yeah, so this was from. I will pop your butt. Don't make me pop your butt. Look, I don't pop his butt often, but when I do, it's serious. He was chewing on cords the other day. Ooh, I had to get into his hiney. He hasn't messed with him since. That's the thing. Sometimes I hear him, so I peep around the corner, and he can't tell I'm looking. And I watch him, and he still behaves. But yeah, so I wrote on here on the Sharpie, 2018 to 2020, Ort Jar, and then my initials. Typically people will use their orts to stuff it in. I like looking at this stuff because I can tell what project I did it with. So like up here where there's a lot more white, dude, I'm gonna have to kick you out the room. Don't make me kick you out of here. You're being cute. The white here is when I did the entire border of Pandemic, so, which is a whip that I have right now. So they have like little stories and memories of like when I stitched on stuff. I'll kick you out, dude. I'll kick you out. But I thought that was also a really good thing for this week, because that's 2 years in the making, you know what I mean? I've started at my new Ort Jar, which used to be a candle. So there's a company over here, their local candle maker. And these are only $7.95 at this store that I go to, because they sell in like a farmer's market style, and they burn for months. Like this was one of the Christmas ones from last year that I was still burning consistently. Like it took that long. And it's soy candles, so they're good for like, they're better for like the air and stuff. But so I cleaned it out. I put on the bottom the start year and then my initials, Ort Jar. And I was sitting there today and I was like, how can I store my needles? Because I always kept my needles on the needle minders, but he can get a hold of them now. Erickson can. So I was like, I don't want to, you know, have them out. So how can I do it? And then I looked over at my needle minders and I had extra magnets. And I forgot that the lid of this is actually magnetic because it's metal. So I stuck those needles on those magnets. And these are my specialty needles, and then these are my 26 count over here to the right. So that way I can always keep my needles with my Orts, and they can both be secure because this is a glass and it screws on perfectly fine. So isn't that just the best idea? Like, I'm definitely gonna toot my own horn there because it's cute. Like this is gonna take a while to fill up too, and it also holds my needles. But when I'm working on okay, you're gonna have to come out of the room, dude. You're gonna have to get out of the room. That's so sad. I know, all the people are gonna miss you. Everybody say bye. Bye-bye. I don't actually like kick him out. I just put a box on in between the door frame so he can't get through it. Because he can like go into the box because I put a blanket in there for him. But that way I can still hear him when the door is shut, right? So those are my best new things of the week. I'm filming this on October 4th, which is actually Sunday, but I'm not going to post this until tomorrow. I'll do a scheduled posting because tomorrow it's going to be way too busy with school and I have extra work to do tomorrow for school, so I don't want to have to film as well and make it a shorter video than it needs to be. So that's why I'm filming today. Again, I didn't get a lot of stitchy time, so I wasn't going to get much more done today than I would have already had. Oh, I think he's annoyed that he's on that side of the wall. He headbutts the doors because he knows that if he does it hard enough, it'll open. Because I don't close them. And I swear, because I have a cat now, I know this place is haunted. Like, 100%. This door right here, it's latched closed. Like, if I body slam that, it won't open. But an hour later, it'll be completely open. Completely. I mean, like, it had to be twisted open. Like, if I body slammed it right now, like, I tried, okay, don't make fun of me, but I literally body slammed that to see if it was, like, someone shaking the house or something, and that's the reason why, like, it was opening, but no. So now I know there's a ghost in my house. And the only reason why is because I never shut that door, so it was always open. Like, it freaks me out, girl. It freaks me out. And now the sun wants to come back out and wash me out. Look at that. Oh, I went to the bar. Oh, that's embarrassing. I forgot to wash that off. It was a friend's 21st. We got crazy. This is why I don't get stitching done. Because my free time, I'm like, yeah, it's someone's birthday. Let's go celebrate. Okay, so I want to do admin stuff now. Okay, so I have my little book here. You know how I like my book. We're going to do admin stuff. We're going to talk about the future of this channel. So that's kind of admin stuff. But then we're going to get into like some personal crafty stuff because I've got some personal stuff going on in my life that affects this channel, so I feel like that would be good there. I'm like reading off my little notepad and checking it as I read it, sorry, because my notes, girl, they're a mess. And then, so we've got the personal stuff talked about. We'll go ahead and do the whips, and then we'll do new starts, and then we'll do finishes, because I don't think that the finishes need to go first, because it's a small finish. If it was a bigger one or something, it would definitely be like the headliner, right? And then we'll do haul, and then we'll do other stuff. So like other crafting, like my crochet. So I don't know, that way y'all have kind of an idea of the video and how it's going to go up front rather than doing timestamps. You can do timestamps. I'm not going to do timestamps just because that's extra work and I don't want to deal with that. So that's just kind of the general outline. If you just want to like skip ahead like every couple of minutes, if you want to skip the personal stuff and want to get to haul first, or so I'm going to go ahead and start with administration stuff, like admin. About the last video. So, I feel like he's getting into something. Like, I literally can't win with him, right? But he's like a baby, so like that's what they do. So, I know whatever he's getting into is safe because I've gotten everything else locked down. Oh, but he's really the best, y'all. He really is. So, last video, I want to talk about a couple of things first. The Biden-Harris, which is right here, which is on that on my Etsy shop. Oh, it's gonna wash it out. Oh, that's bad. There we go. The Biden-Harris. I just made it a little pillow. This is it upside down. And then just like stitched the bottom closed with just like a simple like just satin stitch, because I didn't even try to make it invisible because it sits on its bottom, so I didn't care. But that's in my Etsy shop still. I've got it under Noah Stitches Designs, and the reason I'm talking about it, not to promote my Etsy store or anything like that, Katie, which is Bart, who is Park Hopper Bart, who I've talked about in almost all of the videos. That's his wife, and she cross stitches too, and she was the first one to stitch one of my designs completely and finish it. So with her permission, I added the cross stitch version onto the pattern, or onto the photos of it, because I did the embroidery stitch. So I just think she did just an amazing job. Sorry, I have it pulled up on my iPad. But look at that stitching. And this is also her first time doing a pillow. And that pillow is better than mine. I'm like, sis, I'm gonna have you like, you know what I mean? I'm like, can you finish my stuff? But look at that. I love it cross-stitched. So that's the cross-stitched version, and then I have my version here, which is the embroidery. Which you can make any I talked about last video, you can make any cross-stitch pattern embroidery, you just go over with a satin stitch. Because it's still counted out for you. So your measurements will be the same. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. And of course, again, with her permission, I had it added to that. And I've, of course, credited her. Her Instagram is, because on the description, you can see here, her Instagram is kdunn, DUNN 1013. So go give her a follow, because that was super cool for her to like stitch that and get it done so quickly too. Like, not a lot of people have bought the pattern, so it was even more kind of like the people that have, like, she's already done. Like, that was super cool. But about the cross stitch, so it kind of sparked up a conversation last video in the comments. I specifically said in the video, which I do take back now the way that I said it, because it didn't come across the way that I meant it. I made a comment about, if you don't support the same viewpoint that I do, in the comments, feel free to not write anything, because I'm just going to delete your comment. So, like, if you sit there and say that Breonna Taylor, because I talked about Breonna Taylor, for instance, someone went in the comments and said that the Black Lives Matter movement is terrible, and Breonna Taylor doesn't deserve the justice that we're seeking, and just said some pretty bad stuff. And then again with the Harry Potter comments too. So a lot of people were like, I stand with J.K. Rowling, she's not a TERF, which is some like pretty big claims. First off, when I posted that video, I had already edited out my tutorial videos for that crochet pattern, and they were scheduled to upload. So I then took a week off of YouTube, because, like, even watching Flosstube, because I felt so saturated that I felt like I wasn't absorbing or doing anything productive with the time that I was spending with it. So for instance, I felt like it was all just kind of washing over me and nothing was really like sticking, and I felt like I was wasting my time. So I took a mental health week. And so with that, I didn't upload, or I uploaded the Flosstube on Tuesday because YouTube lost my first video. And I said that I'd be back on Monday for a YouTube live, which I did. We'll talk about those later too, because that's more about like the YouTube aspect and like the future of the channel. But I had some issues with them. But anyways, so I sat there and I'm like, okay, I check off of YouTube. I'm not even like, I'm literally liking the comments from my phone, and there's only like 1 in every like 10 comments that show up on my phone. So I'm actively liking them, but I'm not actually like able to read them, right? Because when you delete it, you can like it at the same time. Oh, he's getting into something good. I know he is. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll check back off of YouTube for a week, do the live, feel much better, and be able to come back to Flosstube. Like nothing ever happened, no time off, you know what I mean? And this time was spent on my channel. In the comment section, people were arguing, people were saying very vulgar things. People were talking badly about other Flosstubers in my comments. It was terrible to see because they had been sitting on my channel for close to a week, and I didn't realize that. I think the oldest comment was there for like 6 days, and the rest were around like 4 or 3 days because they kind of like came in swarms. I stand by what I said in that video for sure, but I think what I interpreted and pulled from this experience, YouTube was sending me emails that were in my other folder, so it wasn't sending me a notification to my phone, it was just in there. They were sending me emails stating that people were being banned off of my channel because people were being reported. So, for instance, let's say I go on to Julie's video, right? And I comment something really ugly in the comments. Other people report my comment. I get banned off of Julie's channel. Julie has nothing to do with that, but because other people are reporting my comment, that way I get banned off. So multiple people had been banned and their comments had been deleted. And I got to see the comments because they were on my channel and they had been deleted. So YouTube showed me what they said, and I'm like, yeah, no wonder they were deleted, because these are like pretty like terrifying comments, right? And I just want to let y'all know that that wasn't me deleting the comments. I did delete 2 that didn't get caught because I don't think they used the right key terms or something. Because YouTube does have an algorithm that tries to protect it from hate speech and stuff. So even that way too, like it might show you that it posted, but it might never go through. Happens on YouTube Lives all the time. They get filtered out as like spam or hate speech or something like that. So really the power is not in the creator's hands. So don't think that I would delete them, because I'm not that quick about it. So if they are being deleted and you're still coming onto my channel, then that means I'm deleting them. So I don't know. What I'm also going to do from this experience, I learned that people aren't processing this properly because I wasn't processing it properly. The political climate that we're in, the fight for civil rights, human rights, and I think what I'm going to do from now on is kind of warn people before I say it. Because I know I'm going to talk about it. It's just, because I want to use this platform for good. But I think what I'm going to do is kind of block off like a little section and just kind of cram it all into that. So people, if they choose, can skip over it and just focus on cross stitch. And then people that want to like listen to it and agree with me, or just want to listen to it because they don't really mind either way, they can just listen and keep watching the video. So that way it kind of beats the best of both worlds. People can still come in for cross stitch, and people can still come in for whatever else they want to do. I feel like he just like ran into something. So that way it makes it a better environment for everybody, and everybody still wins. Also, I don't think it's really ever going to happen again. I just think it was like an offhand comment. Someone told me for my Bilia, who I'll be showing later, that I shouldn't be stitching her with a skin conversion, because I chose to make my charted as a white lady to be a woman of color for the Representation Matters sal, and there's a few cross-stitch sals that are going on, and they told me I shouldn't have done that. Dude, if you don't like my stitching, that's cool. You don't have to enjoy my stitching. Even if you watch my channel, you still don't have to enjoy every cross stitch I do. I feel that about some people too. Sometimes someone shows something and I'm like, oh, I would never even think about stitching that because it's just so ugh. But I don't tell them that. I just don't stitch it. So please don't tell me what to stitch on my channel. If you don't like it, simply skip over it. Like, it does no harm to you. So please don't make comments like that. I don't tolerate that, like, itty bitty one bit. Also, so I kind of talked about it a little bit, we're still in the personal life section. This is going to be merging in with like the future plans of the channel. So if you kind of want to know what's going on here soon, listen up. The YouTube lives on every other Monday that I Flosstube. So this week's coming a Flosstube, next week would be a live. I've stopped. I'm stopping because I was on the phone with YouTube for about 3 or 4 hours consecutively this week. Because every time I post a YouTube live, it's fine when people join. I had some issues this week with the wrong time being posted, but I think that was just a glitch because of time zones. But normally when it's done, it attempts to upload the video. If you search my channel, you can watch the video. But on my end, it says that it's processing, which means that it's in the first stage of uploading to be a permanent video on your channel. I called them because it had been like that for like 24 hours, and which is why I had to delete the first one I ever did, which is why I did not like doing it on YouTube. And they told me because I'm doing it from my iPhone that it won't ever upload because it's not recording actively on the phone like it would on a laptop. It took me 4 hours to get that answer this week. 4 hours on the phone with people. And so I'm just not gonna do YouTube lives. I'll do them on Instagram and I'll keep them as an Instagram TV video on my on my account on my Instagram, which is Noah Stitches with a period in between. But I think that might be the best. They'll be impromptu. I'll probably post about it a couple hours in advance to my story and be like, hey, I'm going live. It'll have a countdown so it reminds you. Instagram is just more friendly, but you just don't, like, there's nothing that you get from it, right? So like people can still come into it later on. So like it uploads immediately. So, but they're only an hour long. So my lives would probably only be about 45 minutes. So that was kind of stressing me out, so I've just chosen from now on not to do lives anymore on YouTube. I've also stopped, this kind of came from Michelle's idea. She posted a Flosstube earlier this week addressing her mental health and how like YouTube has been stressing her out. She does like everything under the sun. So I understand because she does auctions and she's just a phenomenal woman. She's doing 13 days of Halloween vlogs right now. She's on day like 4 or 5 at this point. She's doing unboxing videos. Like, she's just like killing the game. And she was like, guys, I have to stop show notes. She took a week off of auctions, thank God, because I'm sure she needed that. And I completely, even if she needed another week, I'd be like, girl, go for it. Like, take your time because it's a lot of work. Like, and I don't think I understood it until I stepped back into this position. To film, upload, and edit a YouTube video is a solid day. Like, that's a lot of time. And each week, and if you're doing this day in and day out like Michelle, I took inspiration from her when I say that I'm gonna stop show notes. I will clearly state who I'm talking about, when I'm talking about designers, pattern names. If you just want to Google them, it'll be like the first result, just because it's becoming too much to keep up with it. To go back through the video and try to listen in when I tagged someone or name called someone. So kind of stepping into the next thing with that too. Instagram, I think some people have noticed I'm slower to respond. I felt like when I started my Instagram that I didn't really have a lot of friends on there before I started Flosstube. Like I had like some pretty solid friends that I talked to day in and day out, but it's not like now where I'll get on and have like, which is amazing, don't get me wrong, but I'll get on now and have like 17 messages. And it's just overwhelming throughout the day when they're like constantly coming in, which I don't mind because people are reaching out, people are sharing their stories, they're stitching. It's great. I love the fellowship aspect of it, so don't get me wrong. I think the lighting got weird again. There we go. I love that. So don't feel bad to message me. I just simply muted them so I'm not constant because I felt like I had to respond to them immediately. I felt like the moment it came in, whether I was in a Zoom call, whether I was doing homework, stitching, in the bathroom, like I felt like I had to answer that message immediately because I felt like I owed you guys that. And I do, but I think it's gonna be at different times of the day that I check in. I got on last night before I went on Virtual Stitchers and I had 30, it was like 31 messages or something, and I was like, okay, I gotta sit back and kind of like deal with these really quick, but they're amazing. Like they're awesome messages. It's like you have like little like pen pals, you know, because they're all over the world, and it's funny. Sometimes someone will message me, and I'm like, I thought I've been following you. Like, what in the world? I needed to. Oof. Get a little thirst of water. I turned off the AC today because I'm tired of turning on the heat in the mornings and turning off the AC and then the heat at night because it's cold and then it's hot and then I'm tired of it. So I just turned off the AC. So I'm kind of sweating. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is personal life, like head on. Like I said, I've been cutting a lot of stress away, which I attended a few protests over the course of the past 2 weeks for the Breonna Taylor ruling, and there was a memorial for RBG, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and I didn't realize how like draining those are, and from now on, I have to protect myself and take it in and with support systems involved, because I didn't realize that it was really just exhausting. Understandably so, because it's such a strong, purposeful fight. You know what I mean? And it's totally necessary. I just have to approach it a little bit differently. So I'm working with that right now in my personal life, trying to figure out how I can have a better impact and especially with my students in the coming years. And school has been really, really good. We're still set to go out into the schools in a couple of weeks. We go out the 19th, so oh my goodness, I think that'll be my first day in there. Will it not? Wow, it will be. That'll be interesting. So, because this will go live on Monday, the 5th of October, my next Flosstube will be the 19th. So, that'll be my first day student teaching if it all goes to plan. It's crazy to believe that I'm only one Flosstube away. It's scary because I've already spent 2 months with y'all, you know? It goes so fast. But yeah, so school's been good. It's I quit my server job, so I was working in the food industry. It was exhausting. I was there till midnight almost every night, and I wasn't able to do homework when I got home, and just going in at 4 o'clock in the afternoon for 8 hours on top of school that day is just exhausting. So I quit that job and I got a job at Michael's, the arts and crafts store. Retail hours are just going to be better for me. I'll still be able to make some money while I student teach, but it won't be overwhelming. So I'm super excited. I get a good discount. Did I wink right? I feel like, okay, the lighting, dude, like today is just so weird, but wink. So yeah, that's how it's been in my personal life right now. I start that in a couple of weeks. They're doing all the background work right now, set me up in the system. So it's been nice having like this past week off of work though, because I've been able to actually like sleep at night, because I was only sleeping like 5 hours at a time. and Zooms were intense and just, you know, a lot to deal with. But now we're gonna go ahead and step into whips. So, as Ray says on Needles at the Ready podcast, which I highly recommend, Needles at the Ready. It's on YouTube. It's their channel. I love they come out with a YouTube video every 2 weeks, and they're always like an hour and a half. This week's was 2 hours, and I still have a couple I think I have like 30 minutes left, and I'm so excited. But whenever Ray says whips, he goes whoopsh, and I always think it's the funniest thing. It definitely gets my attention because, you know, Ray's not a bad looking man. I'm just saying that, you know. Oh God, I don't think he watches this though, because I don't even think they follow me on Instagram, so I think we're safe here. Thank God. I don't think they cross stitch. I think they just knit. I know Ray crochets too, but he's really on the knitting train with Kevin, his husband. Oh, they're the cutest. And they have this little dog. Oh my God. But yeah, so let me get to whips now that I've detoured again, now that we're 35 minutes in. I hope someone timestamps this in the comments for y'all's sake. First whip, because I've actually gotten a lot of work done on it. When I say a lot of work, I'm talking like maybe a solid night of stitching, which, if you know my stitching style this past couple of weeks, because I haven't been stitching, then you would know that's a good thing. I don't have my poster anymore because I used it at the protest, like my poster board, so I'm just gonna hold my fabric in the air. This is the Drama Llama sampler by Michelle Bindi Stitchy. Designs. I always get her name wrong. Let me actually look at it right, because I know her underneath like 15 different aliases, and I love them all. I love calling her Michelle Garrett some days. I love calling her Mish. Don't ever tell her I say that. I'll be like, yeah, Mish, and then I hate myself when I say it. But it's Bindi Stitchy. Not taking it out of the plastic. I'm lazy. Drama Llama sampler. This is what it looks like if I stop shaking. But yeah, I haven't eaten lunch, so I think that's why I'm shaking. And it's 3 o'clock. So she has it charted for Dinky Dyes, which is fancy floss that I do not have at the moment, under Ocean Pines and Down Under Blues, which is a beautiful green and blue. And I've chosen to do blue and purple. I'm doing 550 as well as 824. I use 550 in almost all of my projects, literally. That was my entire Harry Potter one. I did the Etoile, and I used 550 in the Lion King. I've been using 550 in my Haid. I try to use 550 everywhere. I think it's the most beautiful purple. Most beautiful purple. So, of course, I have to show 550 now that I've been talking about it. It's still in a bag because these are just handier at the moment. And then I'm doing 824. Let me go ahead and show. I got done a little bit. I have my Llama needle minder from, oh God. I think it was Crazy Cat Creations or Creative Cat. There's like a YouTube person that I know under that, Crazy Cat Creations, but I don't think that's the Etsy I bought it from. There's an Etsy. Look up Llama needle minder. It was the first one. It's the most adorable thing. Look at that. Oh. But yeah, this is where I'm at with Drama Llama Sampler. I finished out the top row, the spirals. That took a lot longer than I want to admit. And then I've started the letters up at the top. I only have 2 more sets. I got H, I, and then I'm going to do J and K. Oh, wait. Oh, I've already done, yeah, H, I, J, and then I think I have like K, L, and then I think it goes back down. But the fabric's showing up pretty good there. This is on 32 count even weave. But yeah, it says she had a Ruth Bader Ginsburg modification. So she recharted a, I think it's like Enduring Power. I don't want to mess it up. I always mess it up. It's a Ruth Bader Ginsburg quote. She changed the crowns into Descent collars, and then she did Ruth Bader Ginsburg initials as well as the years, 33 to 20, which I think she did 1933 to 2020, not 33 to 20. Next I've not been working on is the Linen and Thread Mystery Sampler 2020. I realize why I've not been working on it because it's coming up on the end of it, and I love this piece so much that I don't want to stop stitching on it. So stitching it with DMC 311. This is going to be way more than I ever need, and because there's only 4 parts left, and I have, which now there's only 2 parts left, November and December, and then I'm stitching it on AT Cal Ada and Oatmeal. It's just the general box store from like Michael's or Joann's. I think it's like Charles Craft or something, but this is that's showing up well. I think the overcast sky is like good for Flosstubes because it actually doesn't wash anything out. But yeah, this is where I'm at. I finished August. In August, I literally have, I pulled this out the other day and I went to go start it and I was like, no. October dropped and I loved the ghost and the bats that he has designed into it, which we can also segue into that super quick. People have been dicks to Bren and his wife. This is a free sampler on linenandthreads.com, which they're a store, so they have access to be able to sell this as a pattern. And they do this for free every year. They also have like 3 other years and they're doing one next year too. He put out October the other day, a day late because they had an emergency with their family, which people freaked out about because they were like, where is it at? Where is it at? And people were so angry on Facebook. And then they also had, when the part came out, it has ghost and little bats in it. So that's why I want to wait a little bit till October because I want to stitch it closer to Halloween. And people lost their mind. Y'all. People were like, I hate this. I don't want this in my Quaker. Like, people like lost, and he had to come out with like a new chart within like 2 hours, and he was so apologetic. I just want to say, if you don't like it, keep your mouth shut. Oh my goodness, dude. Like, I'm all about like being super nice to people and treating people fairly, and that is so the opposite. Like, that's a free sampler, and people, I could not imagine being, because there's like, I think there's like 15,000 people in that or something. Not everyone hated it either. And he made a post later on being like, hey, I'm not asking for apologies or anything. But like, or like, you know, I love it. He's like, but just like, y'all just need to approach this differently. And I'm like, I completely agree with you, dude. Like, that is not fair to you whatsoever. I could not imagine. Also, someone asked me how I keep my patterns, my paper patterns. I just literally fold it in half because they're working copies. I throw them away anyways. And then I just keep it with the project like this. So, because I haven't done anything on that sampler, I've been stitching on the espresso piece from the Mill Hill collection. It is the autumnal, so it's Buttons and Beads Autumn series, and this is espresso. It's going to be 71 by 71, so it's about 5 inches by 5 inches on the paper. Again, I got the table done. I'm finishing up the tablecloth. I just did this the other day when we were at the vet, and I started working on this the other day at the vet when we were just sitting there. But other than that, I haven't really pulled it out. I don't have the cover with me. It's in there on my desk. Because I'm trying to stitch a little bit more on this in class because I think I'm just starting to get too stressed out in classes again. So I think I'm just going to need to find something for my hands to do. Okay, next things next. We have the Patriot, I think it's Patriotic, from Sinji Stitch. Sinji Stitch has 2 designs in her shop, I still believe, which is Rachel Moore. She has this woman right here. And then she also has, I think it's Blueberry Muffin or Blueberry Princess, something like that. She's the equivalent size of Bilia and Matt, NBC Stitcher here on Flosstube. He's stitching her right now, and she's so stunning. But this is patriotic. I've named her Naomi after I had a story in Flosstube 3, I think, after I came back from an airplane trip. There was it was the airline attendant, and her and I had talked about just some pretty personal stuff, and I asked her name so I could name her after this. But this is Naomi. This is the finish. Right here, this is the pattern. The pattern is really easy to read. I love it. I thought I was gonna finish her within these past couple of weeks, but I like low-key forgot that she's like a few thousand stitches. Like her wrap on her head, the American flag, is huge. So I think I'm just gonna kind of low-key be stitching on her over time. Have her on 25 count opal even weave. This is my needle minder from Top Knot Stitcher. Abby over there, and it's just like an arsenic poison. I don't know why I put her on this one, but I did. But yeah, I pulled her out thinking I was going to stitch on her this week, and I wanted something a little bit more complex than color work, so I pulled out my Hade instead. But that's her. She's only got, I think it's only like 10 colors, something like that, and they're beautiful colors too, so I just need to get back to her, because I could probably knock her out within a week. But I'm trying not to set myself goals with stitching anymore, because I felt like I was like falling behind and like shaming myself, and I don't want to do that. This is my bag from, those past two bags were just the ones that I've stitched. This is the bag from Robert, which is Robert's Palace of Stitches. He gave it to me for my birthday. And I've got my big ass projects in here, my BAPs. That's what I call them. That's what everybody calls their big ass projects. Because it's a big ass bag, so why not? How many times can I say that? Everyone's probably cackling. I hope somebody laughed at that, because that was a lot of work. Can you tell they stocked up DMC Blanc and 310 at the store? The thing about Michael's now, baby, I got a discount on DMC, so we're going back to the days where it was 20 cents. Really, because I get 30% off. So 30% of 60, I mean, you look, okay, so 30 cents is 50, right? So take about 10 cents off of that. So you're looking at 40 cents discount. With the 20% on top of that, because we also get other coupons, so even if it's sale events, girl, I get 30% on top of the sale. So if it's already 50% off, I get 30% off the 50%. So I just got a $2 item for, that's like $8, $9. Because you're 30%ing the 50, not the full percentage. But y'all know how to do math. Anyways, I'm excited to pay damn near nothing for DMC again, because I remember when my mama paid for DMC, that was literally like 20 cents. She would get like, I think she would get like 5 for $1 or something. If only, right? And in other parts of the world, I know a friend out there in Portugal, he pays like, I think it's almost $2 a skein. I'm like, so I've done a little bit of work now that we're actually like getting into the stitching. I've done a little bit of work on my Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers. I have the pattern here. I gotta get out my pattern keeper so I can show you the finished project, because I forgot to do that in my last Flosstube. Oh, they got Duolingo for free on here. I love that. Maybe I'll pick up my Spanish again, because I suck as a American. I am close to 7,000 stitches, but I am at 9.05% of it complete, which is actually kind of cool. Oh, it doesn't let you look at the cover art? Girl, that's shady. Can you tell I've never pulled it up on my iPad? Or on my Pattern Keeper app? Let me pull it up on my iPad, because I know my iPad got me covered. But yeah, this is by Long Dog Samplers. She had it out for free earlier this year, and then I had the free version, went to go download it off of my laptop onto my iPad, and then I found out that I couldn't find it, so I bought it, and when I bought it, it was under the same name. So it was Pandemic LDS 1. So the first one popped up. So now I have 2 copies of Pandemic. But that's user error. I don't know why I didn't search it right. I don't know why. But this is the finished product. Julie Nicely, she's here on Flosstube. She's almost done. Like, she literally is halfway, and she'll be finished by November. And this is just a magnificent pattern. I've chosen to do 2 colors. I didn't like doing it all in blanc at first. I did, but then I was like, okay, I need to break up the monotony. And so I went ahead and pulled out 310 because that's a perfect color for this hand-dyed fabric. I did dye this fabric myself, and it's 18 count Aida. It shrunk a little bit. It's probably around 20 count now, but it's still huge. This is how big it is. Those are the borders. I've done all 3,000, close to 4,000 stitches on it around the border. I plan on doing a back stitch of black around the edges to pull in the black to the border, but this is where I'm at on... I've completed page 1. I completed page 1 a couple of weeks ago, and I've started on page 2, which it doesn't look like that, but that border right there that I'm stitching is huge, and that's only like a third of it. So yeah, it'll take just a second because that's almost the width of the second page. Do you like my little kitty cat? I felt like it'd be perfect because it has blue eyes, and then I've got my rainbow. Because on every project I have literally like 2 needle minders at a time. But I'm keeping this on my pattern keeper, so like I said, 9.05%, close to 7,000 stitches, which is insane because that means I've done the border twice now, close to. But yeah, this is the only active project I have with my needles on them, because Kitty Cat can't get to this one because it's so bunched up, because it's so much Aida. I'm actually shooting for a year finish on this. So if I do a page a month, I should be fine. A little less than a page a month. Wait, I'm on page 1. Well, I'm on page 2 because I finished page 1. There's 20 pages total, so that's 19 pages left. And if you do like 1.5 a month, you'd be done within the year. And realistically, I think a page is only, I don't know how many stitches. Let's look. That's the thing about Pattern Keeper, you can just undo what you don't want done. Right? Okay, so one page is 4,142 stitches for this one. So, oh, and what I'm doing on my Pattern Keeper is I just selected all the stitches. And look, if you can make the whole pattern out of what I just showed you, I'm impressed. I'll give you the pattern for free. And then you just clear it off. Like you unfrog it. So you hold down, you select all finish, and then they go away. So it says 4,142 stitch today, but that's about to disappear. Yeah, 0 stitch today. Oh, but I set the, oh. I've got to go back in later when I get a second. I've got to go back in and finish off the border at the top because I did do the border. It cleared off my border too. Not all of it, just that one page. But anyways, that's Pandemic. My Long Dog Samplers, stitched with 310 and Blanc. Because Pattern Keeper is built for Hayes, it's not built for backstitch because Heaven and Earth Designs do not use backstitch. So I have my paper copy of my Pandemic, and every page finish, I'll just go in and backstitch that one page. Oh, time to breathe. Next, I want to show you is the Zimmerlin. No, let's try that one more time. Maybe let's go to Palette Cleanser first. Girl, I could take like a nice long bath tonight. Be so nice. Y'all ever stitch in the bath? I've stitched in the bath before, like a mill hill. You just got that thread. It's like a solid block of color, girl. You could do it. You could do it. I don't know. I feel like that's a no-no. Now that I've said it, I feel like they're going to make fun of me. I love his website because he has amazing stuff, but sometimes just looking at, like, I need the search bar. Okay, I found it. I did not come prepared today. Okay, so for high tea, which is from Caroline, Off the Grid Needle Art, she does a once every, I think it's every 3 months because we do 4 a year. She does it on the 3rd month, like the end of the precipice of the next quarter, right? So October 1st was the first. Let me try to fix this lighting. Nope, it's not going to be fixed. So she does a quarterly new start, and high tea is meant for the special stuff in your stash. So like specialty floss that you're holding on to, a pattern that is cherished, and you're like waiting to start it for something special. Maybe some fabric that's super special, maybe some discontinued fabric that you don't have access to anymore and it's your favorite. So it's high tea. So I went ahead and started mine on the 1st, but I'm holding out until the 10th of October because Ellen Reed, who is Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour, I think, I always get it confused, here on Flosstube is doing a sal for it because it's her coverlet. So she posted on her story on Instagram, I believe, or posted somewhere on Instagram, who is El Poo is here. I know I'm name dropping a lot, but so she posted on there, and it was the coverlet of a family heirloom, which had been created by traveling weavers like centuries ago. And there's a little bit of damage to it, but it's been kept in pretty good shape for like a 200-year-old like coverlet. So it's the Zimmerman coverlet. And Jacob, which I'm not going to pronounce his name the way that it should be because that's his name, but I'll just butcher it, so I am so sorry. But he is the designer behind Modern Folk Embroidery. And he messages Ellen and is like, can I chart this for you? And she's like, sure, go ahead. Literally, apparently, according to the story, he came out with it like 6 hours later and is donating 25% of the proceeds to Red Door. I think it's like the Red Door Society in Canada to help with like sheltering, like for people that are seeking asylum and refugees and people that are just in bad situations that need like a meal and a place to sleep. So that was super cool. So I bought it immediately, and that was my high tea start. So because Ellen is doing her stitch along starting on the 10th, I've stopped my start, and I will be joining that day. So it's so I can follow along. But I want to show here on the website what it looks like. So that's what it looks like. Isn't that just stunning? Y'all should see the coverlet. It's gorgeous. So it's a repeating. So this top right here, it stops, repeats. So I'm only doing a third of it because I already have some pretty big projects, which I know is kind of disappointing, but I've chosen 4 colors. I'm keeping the colors a surprise. Julie has seen them, but nobody else. So you'll see them as they stitch along. Because that's the exciting part of a sal, is like watching people's stitching come together. So I want to go ahead and share with that now what it looks like. This is all I've gotten started. Like I said, I'm waiting. Probably about 30 stitches there. It's just the first motif in the corner. So I'm doing it on 32 count even weave, shocker shocker. And I'm doing it with a deep brown, so take your guesses in the comments if, Julie, you can't guess. Julie, you can't guess, you've already seen them. That'd be cheating. But you can guess if you want. So that's that. It won't come out for another 6 days, so close to a week. I won't see it anymore. My next thing is a Heaven and Earth Designs. It is the Mini Victorian Garden by... I think it's Dominic Davison is the artist, and it was charted by Michelle. It's an S name, and I don't want to mess it up. So I think it's like Satiri Satire. Oh my gosh, I'm like crucifying her name. My threads are all rolled up, sorry. So I am parking. I'm doing tent stitch, 25 count, 2/1. So my threads are all crazy, I'm sorry. But this is where I'm at. It's not ironed. Isn't that cool? I did 1,000 stitches on it this week, so I'm at 5,000, which is actually quite a bit. This is where it's at from the long term. Someone was concerned that it would be too long. Like I don't have enough fabric on the end. It's only like 9 inches, and this is like 3. So it's really only going to like here. So it's not going to be huge. Again, it's a mini, but it's still 78,000 stitches. So kind of get zoomed in. I want to show you it, and then I want to show you here on the pattern. That's where we're at. Right here in the corner. You see it? Up here, where my pinky is? Right there. And then I'll show you the pattern. Like what I've gotten done. Can't you tell? I love it, because it's actually starting to look like it now. So what I'll do, like last week... Oh, I wish I had my board. Do you see it? See the tree? The house is starting in the next set of blocks. So I am doing a modified version of parking on this one. I'm doing it in 3x3 chunks, so I'm doing it 900 stitches by 300 by 300 stitches to make 900 stitches to park in. I'm finding that it's easier because there's a lot of confetti in this area, and it makes it faster for me. So I'm obsessed. I'll have another 1,000 stitches done in the next couple of days. I try to pace myself with this piece though, because again, I'm already at 5,000 and it's addicting. Hades are addicting when they're tent stitch because you feel like they're going so fast. I don't know, it's amazing. Next is my Bilia. I have it in my Evertotes bag, which is by Caroline off the Green Needle Arts, who was just talking about a minute ago. Sorry, I'm pulling some stuff out of this beautiful furniture that I got over the weekend so I can hold my stuff while I cross stitch with you guys. My Bilia by Bilia. Let's try that one more time. It is August Peridot Fairy by Bilia. I had to restart, and I am modifying heavily, and I'm about to show you why. Here she is. Glamour. Oh, please don't wash out. Oh, it's washing out so bad. Let me, like, tap it. Did that help? Oh, it did. Awesome. You're probably able to see through her, but this is where she's at right now. I did a lot of the wings. Headdress was already done, like the feathers, and so was her dress. So the head and the dress were already done. Her skin was already backstitched. Just been working on the wings because it's huge. And then this is the other start that I had on her before I miscounted everything. But I have to modify her because here she is finished, which again, I'm doing the skin conversion. But you see that dandelion looking thing, that wand? I don't like it. It has not grown on me whatsoever. I thought it would. It has not. So what I'm doing instead is I'm gonna do something like magical there, and she's gonna have like a small like Harry Potter wand, or she's gonna have like a book in her hand with like spells on it or something. Like I'm trying to figure out if there's gonna be something like dancing, like mythical there, like if she's like controlling it. Because I don't like the wand that it's charted as, because I think it looks like a dandelion before you blow the little stems everywhere. And now that I've probably shown you that, you'll probably not ever see it again the same. Just to ensure that everybody's on the same page. Dandelion before you blow it out. And it's all beadwork, so like I don't want to like dread doing all of that beadwork and hate it. Like hate the finished product, you know? So she's just simply going to be mythical and magical in another way, which I still think is a really good idea. Again, with my working copies, I literally just take it, fold it, and stick it back in the project bag because the bag's already full, that it's not going to do anything harmful to the pattern. And then I stick my finish, like my cover art, in there too. Typically I pack it away after I film the Flosstube because I don't ever need them. because I make working copies. Next, that was my last whip, I believe. Was it? Yeah. I only have new starts and a finished object. So that is actually kind of going quick. We're on our hour and 5 minutes for all of my whips and personal chatting. We're killing it today. To people that are new, you're probably like, what the Okay, finished, okay, new start because that's how I said earlier. I showed it a few weeks ago in Flosstube. Julie gifted it to me. It is the Scarlet House, Pumpkins and Bittersweet. This is the finished project. I'm not doing it that way, I'm doing it in another design way, which is actually the way that Julie did it, because I'm doing 1/1 and you can't do this because this is meant for to be stitched 1/1 while everything else is 2/2. So I can't do that version. Where is it at? Oh, it stole my Q-snap. I literally was like tripping. I was like, and then I'm not taking them out, sorry. My fancy flosses, it's just general art sampler threads, as charted. I only have one DMC because they were out of the brandy when I bought it, so there's only a little bit of variegation. Okay, I'm gonna talk about variegation in a minute. I'm doing this on 25 count, even weave, 1/1. How to think about it. It is Stormy Cloud. Oh, that's the pattern, babe. That's the pattern. Can you tell I was stitching on it right before? Oh, it's so tiny. But look at it. I've got the pup. So pumpkins go across here. Got a giant ass pumpkin, sorry for the wet language. Got a giant ass pumpkin here, and you have all the flowers and vines. So, this is the first color I stitched with, this yellowy gold. It's called Gold Leaf. The variegation is very far and few between, so I don't think there will be a lot of variegation there, but you can tell in Pecan Pie, which is that branches, the variegation. So like, over here, it goes from dark into like a lighter branch, and I'm really excited to see that one work up. But I'm also doing Black Licorice, which is just a solid black, even though it's still fancy floss. It's kind of like 310, but it's better coverage. But I think it's great on this fabric. I just think the colors work well. And nobody could see the pattern, I promise. I have it all covered up with my needle minder. Oh, my needle minder is from Fire Poppies. Oliver gifted it to me and it was really sweet. It was really sweet of him. Second thing second, my finished objects, because that was all I did for new starts. Well, technically my finished object was also a new start because I finished it that early. I know, kind of killing the game. For someone that didn't stitch, I did a full mill hill, which I guess is like not a lot of stitching, but it still took me like all day. Like 5 hours probably of like solid sitting down and stitching. It's hard now to like calculate hours when you have a hoodlum that runs around your house and terrorizes you. Eric. But it was the Mill Hill Painted Pumpkin set. This is like their new series that they came out with, I think this year. Their ornaments. And this one is Bewitching Pumpkin. And I'm completely done with it. I just need to felt the back. So next time I go to the store, I'm just gonna grab some extra felt to felt all of them. But this is what it looks like. The actual chain is beaded too. But yeah. I've got a little charm. Typically I don't use the charms with Mill Hills, but I did enjoy this one because it's like a little bronze star. And the beads in the trees look like they're glowing. Love the colorway. I was trying to show it last night on Virtual Stitchers, but it wasn't picking up that well. But you can tell here in the, right there in the trunk, like the little, it's like frosted glass. Wait, let me see if I can like, I don't know. I enjoy it. I thought it was pretty cute. And it's gonna go with my other Halloween, the Michelle Bendy Stitchy. I have 2 more ornaments. I'm doing 1 a week. So I got this done in 3 days, which I only stitched on it 1 day. So I don't think having 2 more finishes of this before the month of October is gonna be hard. Because this is my other ornament, and so I'm gonna have a Halloween tree. My idea is that I will buy a tree while I work at Michael's, because it'll be cheaper that way. But yeah, So what I'll do is I keep the beads and I keep the floss and I just put it away in stash, and that way if I ever want to bead anything, I have extra beads. Okay, so now we have haul. I think you've already seen haul. Yeah. No, I actually have more haul than I thought I did. Okay, so I got my yarn from Third Vault Yarns, who is a dyer in London. She's a black dyer. Here's the political talk if you don't want to hear this. Fast forward a minute. I watched her in a YouTube video by Entrepreneur. Someone linked it in my last comment section, and I think I remember pinning it to the top. And it supported black entrepreneurs that had businesses. So I went and I saw her yarn in that video and was like, I have to have it. So I reached out, bought some yarn, she shipped it. It was here within literally like 5 days, international from London, UK. So it had to come across seas. Amazing shipping. And she wrote a really personal note and it was really sweet. But I want to show you. So I will be using this to knit socks. Oh my god, look at this color, y'all. I haven't started knitting because I wanted to show y'all this color first. It's so beautiful, I don't want to ball it up. Like, I want it like this forever. And it's soft. Oh, this is why people collect yarn. It's expensive, but it's worth it. It's so soft. So, the specifics for people that want to know. Oh, the political talk is over if you're joining back in. 100% superwash merino. It is fingering weight. I have 400 meters and 100 grams. So is that a lot? I feel, is that enough for 2 male size socks? I already have a pattern and I have my knitting needles because I needed the certain knitting needles for the pattern. It's a Louise. Why is her name slipping me right now? Wildflower Wool on Instagram. Louise Patterson, she has a free, I don't know if it's free or if I paid for it, I can't remember. But it's a great cuff down knitting pattern. So it's not sock yarn, but it is fingering weight. So I think I'll still be fine because this is still very thin yarn. I'll use double pointed needles for the heel. I'll probably do a, what's it called? The Fish Lips heel kiss. I think it's like Fish Lips kiss heel or something. But I just wanted to show this one more time. So yeah, I'm gonna unwind this soon and ball it up. So when I ball it up, do I keep it as one giant ball? Or do I do 2 separate balls to do the sock? And how do I know if... Yeah, so that's the thing. What if this isn't enough? What do I do then? Do I make one sock so I know how much it's using, and then if I don't have enough, I can make another sock? Because I feel like this is not a lot of yarn. I'm used as a crocheter to use a lot of yarn, because crochet stitching is so gigantic compared to knitting, so I don't know. Let me know, because I'll buy another skein if I need it. I know the dye lots would be different, but it would still match very similarly. Right? I don't know. It doesn't say that it has a dye lot, so... The color is called Born of Air. And she didn't spell it the fancy way with a U. I wanted her to spell color with a U. But yeah, I still keep it in this beautiful little package because I don't want it to get hurt by anything. AKA the cat. And so I was at Michael's before my job interview because I go there at least twice a week. And they had some RIT in the clearance section. So just so I can start dyeing my own fabrics again because I'm trying to save money. So I'm not trying to spend $30 a piece of fabric when I could do it myself. So no shade to the hand dyers because they're always beautiful, beautiful pieces and they're so worth it. I just, without having a job at the moment, I don't need to be spending like I had of a job. So yeah, that's that on that. I have some blank even weave and stash that I want to dye and do like a primitive style fabric. Next is going to be other crafty stuff. Well, this is technically haul still. Michael's was having a sale on these scrapbook boxes, which have bins, like latches. and they're huge. They're 12 by 12. And so I'm able to lock it, and little Eric can't get into them. So I keep them like this, but my mom is keeping hers like this. It's just, I guess, whatever you want to do, because it doesn't matter either way, right? So I have one for all of my fabrics. So this is all of my fabrics, which I didn't realize. This is when I was going through Stash, that how much fabrics I have. UFOs. Yeah. Do we want to look at those really quick? These were on sale for $2.99. These aren't UFOs. These are just, I'll get back to them, but they're not current whips, so they don't have project bags. It's this Dimensions kit. It's the Moonlit. No, it's In Harmony, sorry. It was a kit I bought a few years ago, apparently for $29.99, but I think I remember using that 40% off. And this is what I've gotten done on it. I do love it. It is a good piece, but y'all know Dimensions. They have those specialty threads, and when I'm not in the mood, I'm not in the mood. So it's been sitting in Stash for a while. But yeah, this is where this is at. I mean, I literally have half of it done. Oh, it's upside down. Oh my god, that was embarrassing. Look how good that looks. Okay, now that kind of makes me want to stitch it. And this is Ada. So this is 14 count Ada. It came with all the necessary colors. Okay, this is going in whip pile. Fuck, I can't do that to myself. This has got to sit in here for a minute. But it looks so good. It's going in, oh, I don't know. Let's see what I do today, and we'll see if it goes in whip pile. This is the struggle. This is why I can't go through Stash, because I started kitting stuff up when I went through Stash the other day and went, I want to start this. And that's the reason why I had 2 new starts and a finish. But my next one is Castle Sampler. I don't even have a cover art for this right now, but this is what it looks like. It's on a, I'm doing 1/1 on 28 count. This is a hand-dyed fabric by myself. This is my first ever hand-dyed fabric, and this is my first time doing 1/1. Fell in love with it, but I had some charting issues when I was stitching it because I just wasn't paying attention, and I don't want to deal with it, so that's the reason why it's in timeout. And then my last one in this box, because I don't really have that many, is Trick or Treat by Twin Peaks Primitive, if I could actually speak right. I started on 32 count even weave, shocker, and when I say started, I mean started, mama. Like, that's it. That's the house. Like, I'm doing 2/2. Yeah. So yeah, I literally started it because I was going to do that this upcoming October, like the month that we're currently in. But then I realized I had way too many whips to starting all of these October pieces. So I'll just save some October stitching till March when I want to stitch those. Which, mentioning of, Julie, Kansas City girl, has her own stitching. She's a designer. She has Hemlock and Rye Stitchery. And she just put out, I'm not going to say it right, a Salem piece. It's a beautiful 3 set of houses. I recommend checking it out. It's like a beautiful burgundy, a teal, and a yellow. I've been watching her stitch them this whole time. Oh, y'all, it's so beautiful. But I have, in this last bin, I just have haul, so, well, not haul, but all of my to be stitched. So, like, my other pattern, like my other Mill Hills. I have, like, kits that I just never got to, right? Like, this one's I Can't Adult Today. I think everyone sees it at Walmart. These are some embroidery patterns. Which, mentioning of, that cactus pattern is sitting in timeout still. I don't know what I want to do with it. This is the Witchy Stitcher pattern. I've got a few other kits in here that I've got kitted up. So these have just been great containers to use. I've got 2 blue ones. They click into each other when you stand them on top of each other. They support my cat's butt because he likes to walk all over them. And then last but not least, I want to show you my crafts, my other crafts. So again, I haven't been knitting, I just said that, but I do still crochet right now. I started up that autumnal blanket. I'm doing the anniversary cakes. I think it's like Spice Soiree. And this is my Afghan right now. It's actually going to be a full king-size blanket when I'm done. to go on a king-size bed. Y'all, this is such soft yarn and it's stunning to work with. I am absolutely loving it. I'm doing the log cabin modified stitch on this, and I have that tutorial on my YouTube channel. I know I didn't get a lot of views, but like I still think it's like important for it to be out there if anybody has any questions, you know. I'm doing it again with the size 6 bulky weight acrylic yarn. Karen cakes, anniversary cakes, what are they called? And I don't think I'm gonna have to use all 3 on this, because this is stitching up really big. I have like a fluff in my face or my tongue. It's stitching really big, so I'm not even through the first ball of yarn. I still have 2 more, so it might not end up being all 3. But then I have the size J hook from Boy, so it still folds up really nicely. And then of course I've been separating out the colors, so I ball them up myself and crochet as usual with them. I just change out my colors when I need to. I don't think I have much else, but I've been keeping the balls of yarn in here because it's like the perfect Halloween bag for them, and they don't roll around a lot in here like they do in the bucket, so I've kind of changed that up a little bit. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with everything. And then the last little bit of this is just going to kind of be Flosstube talk, so like what I've been doing in my personal life. So probably last like 5 minutes with this, and we'll be under an hour and a half. What I've been watching, I watched all of Ratchet, which is on Netflix now. It's by American Horror Story director Ryan Murphy. He wrote the script as well as directed it, and it is amazing. It's based off of a book, but I have not read the book yet. It's based off like a short story, but it's an 8-hour series. It's kind of like a shortened season, I would say. I'm gonna put on some lotion while we're talking, so I can get into stitching when I get done. It's really good though. A lot of people are comparing it to American Horror Story. I mean, I would too, but like not really, because it's a completely different set of circumstances. Like this isn't a different world, you know, because like this is more realistic than probably American Horror Story would ever be. Definitely, for sure. Like I feel like there's like a lot of like realism in this. But it was a great show. It's placed in the 40s, so you get all of the beautiful artwork and clothing choices and vehicles and restaurants. Of course, you also get the racism, which is heartbreaking, but it was something that was alive and well then, and it's still alive and still well, because it's not going anywhere apparently. But that's not what we're here to talk about. The show was really good though. I enjoyed it. And then we also had, what else did I watch? Oh, I watched that entire show within the day. Like it was literally done. I watched all 8 hours because it was amazing. What else did I watch? I don't really think I've been watching much else, because I had already finished the Umbrella Academy last time. I haven't been reading. I turned on the Audible like one time over the past couple of weeks. I like fell off the book wagon because of school. But in the mornings I've been getting up and I spend about 30 minutes just sitting there listening to music and cross-stitching now. Because again, I'm trying to like figure out ways to like cut out stress, and there's just no way that I can like sit there and consume content either from YouTube or Netflix or Hulu and all these other like avenues all of the time. Like it just, my brain has to rest. So I just throw on some music, and like I'll probably even do it in the afternoons, because I've been enjoying that, where like I'm just trying to take a second. So I just turn on some music, Eric and I kind of jam out for a little bit, and then, you know, we're good to go. But I've also been reading, well, I say I haven't been reading. I've been reading this. It is Violet Bent Backwards Over the Grass. It is a poetry book by Lana Del Rey. It is her first book. That's her author image. She's doing it under the stage name of Lana Del Rey instead of her real name. But this is a poetry book that actually came out as an audiobook a few months ago, and I got a hold of it then. But this book actually had proceeds go to Indigenous women and the system and how it kind of betrays them over in reservations and stuff. So there's like an organization that protects them in court and will find them homes to be placed into and stuff like that too. So she donated a lot of money to them with this purchase of the book. But throughout it, it's just like her poetry. So we have, and like her photography. So like we happened, so bare feet on linoleum. Oh, you're not gonna be able to, you know, be able to see it, show it. So like here we have like the original transcript of like a photocopied version, obviously, but like of her typing out the poetry and then the image that she wants to go with it. So she has one of her longer poems here, and she also has like the original like edits in it. So there's like rewritten words above other ones, and of course again with the artwork, has beautiful photos in them. This is one of my favorites. It's Never to Heaven. And here there's the original edited version, and then here's the finalized version. So there's like a few extra lines in this one that I'm like, why did you not include that? Like, that's stunning. Oh, Eric just woke up. I know, baby. But yeah, it's just a really good, and then there's other pieces too that like she's never included anywhere else. So here it says, Jasmine in the air, the burden of fame is real, never felt so clear. So like it's just like a very metacognitive book, and I just love the artwork in it, and I love the imagery. He is whining, y'all. Come here. You gotta come here. Come here. Come here, and then we'll have nap time or whatever you want. Okay. Tell everybody bye. Oh my gosh. What? Say bye to everybody. Okay, well, y'all know what to do at this point if you've made it this far into the video. Comment, like, subscribe, tell Eric hello in the comments. Oh my gosh, you are so spoiled. I'll have my link tree in the comments, so in the description box, so you'll have access to my Etsy, my Instagram, and wow. I post pictures of Eric all the time. What, you want down? And he said, I want more love. Yeah, he's agreeing. But yeah, okay, I think we're gonna try to cap this right beneath an hour and a half. Go lay in the sun, he loves to sunbathe. I think we're gonna cap this at an hour and a half. So, again, like I said, comment, like, subscribe, all the good stuff. You know what to do. I will catch y'all next week though. Not next week, the following week. So the 19th of October, Flosstube 6 will go live. So no live. If you find me on live on Instagram, hang out, but I don't plan on it. It's just really stressful and it takes up a lot of time. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know what else to say, except for I hope you have a good 2 weeks, and I'll talk to all of y'all then. Okay? Bye.